let's talk about Extraordinary. I mean, it's got such a great tonality. It's one of those shows that manages to succeed on such a variety of levels. It's really touching when it needs to be. It's obviously incredibly funny at times, but obviously it ties in the kind of fantasy and sci-fi elements with a real kind of ease as well. That's not an easy thing to pull off. What ensured you both initially that this would kind of work? Does it come through in the scripts? Is it conversations with the director? Or how do you feel confident that this is going to be a success?
That's such a good question.
Yeah,
I
great
feel like
question.
initially reading the scripts, Emma's voice was so unique and was so strong and so different to anything I'd read before. I felt that I had real confidence within that. And then the creative team behind it was so invested and spoke for so long, and every single thing, even like, for example, when we're filming a scene, and there's so much thought behind every single person that works on this show, that kind of gives you confidence that, I mean, we hope that it will be pulled off, because everyone cares so much about it, and the love that they pour into it, you hope that will translate on screen and hopefully work. But I think, yeah, the heart of it for me was definitely Emma's scripts. It just felt so like, she felt so sure of what the world that she was creating, that I think as soon as I read it, I just trusted, like, okay, let's go. Head in first. And first of all,
Everything.
Because Bill, I mean, obviously I interviewed you for Dead's Hot, which is obviously out this week, and that's another great show which is very well written. And I think where both shows stand out for me, the one kind of thing that likens them is the ability to create very real friendships and authentic relationships while not compromising on the kind of genre expectations and the more thrilling or kind of fantastical elements. Do you think that's what really allows these shows to succeed? Is it that humanity, do you think, that is what gives them life?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's definitely like, it's a big priority of ours, like when we do Extraordinary, to prioritize the emotional lives of our characters. Like, I think that's obviously with Jen, that's very clear. But with the three of us who are potentially going through slightly different things that are a bit larger than life, we have to like always ground it in reality. And like, even when you're like, for example, channeling someone, like these things are treated with like respect and naturalism in order to like make sure that the whole time this wacky world is grounded in like an emotional truth. And that's something that like we all feel like, from everyone, from like the meticulousness of the costume department to art department to director to Emma to all of us. Like, I do think it's a big priority. Like,
I totally agree. And I think it also it really, like, everybody on set respects that, even if the sort of circumstances are quite kind of out of this world and supposedly potentially ridiculous, because they're so sort of unnaturalistic. The way that everyone on set treats it is as if you're doing the most emotional scene, or
it's so true. Like,
or a horror film, or
like when we did our breakup scene, like that day felt very somber, even though this is a comedy, and like that breakup scene isn't like, you know, it's not this big tragic scene, it's a really sad scene, but like it's not. But on set it was like everyone was like, you know, this is the day of the breakup, which actually so good to like have that commitment to
totally. And I think maybe that like refers to the fact that like everyone can relate to those experiences. So the world might be incredibly non-naturalistic and kind of wacky, but everyone can relate to the feeling of a breakup and the pain they go through. And I think that is what Emma so beautifully writes, is even though the situations can be really funny and extreme, there's real heart and truth within those situations.
So when you've made a first season of something and it's turned out really well, and you're able to watch it back and you go, this has worked, and audiences really like it and they really respond to it, how reassuring is that? And what does it do to a second series set when you all kind of turn up? Does that knowledge of it being well received breed a kind of new sense of confidence, would you say?
I think like it yeah, I think so. I think just doing it again and being able to return to these characters means that you already have a shorthand with each other, a shorthand with this world, a shorthand with the characters, which means that you feel more comfortable and confident on set embodying these people. And it means like practically there was a lot more improvisation in season 2. There was a lot more like, we could kind of get to the point quite quickly in scenes actually, and we just trust each other, and we know, you know, we really, really love each other outside of the show. So like it was kind of amazing to do it again, given all of that. We just all felt more comfortable, I think.
Exactly.
I mean,
I completely agree. And also like working with the directors, we had the same 2 directors. So there's such a shorthand with the way you communicate with everyone. It allows things to happen more quickly. But I would also say, like, I don't know if we were really aware of like how it was being perceived in the outside world, because we the show came out and we did press for a week or whatever when the show came out, and then we were already in rehearsals and we almost started filming 4 days after.
Yeah, we
the
were.
show.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of at work the whole time. We didn't really have that much impression of how it was being perceived, which perhaps is helpful. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like we could just get on with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was nice, like talking to friends because they were in the world that we were living in whilst we were doing season 2. So that was quite fun to have like a lovely little shared language with your friends after all this time. Like,
and the opportunity to just go again and play these characters felt like, oh my God, this is such a blessing.
Yeah. What's it like getting the scripts through for a second season of a show you've enjoyed making? Because I mean, obviously, you know these characters well. It must be so exciting to see where they're going to take you. In that moment you get the scripts. Is that the closest kind of likeness is to almost being a fan of the show, to experience that for the first time?
Oh my God, yeah, that's
100%.
true. It kind of feels like Christmas and your birthday all put in one. You're literally like, when you see those emails drop, we're like, oh, they're in.
My God.
The group chat goes wild.
Yeah, you go wild. It does feel like Christmas. The writing is so good that it feels like a gift every time you get it. Even if you're stressed about, having to do it, which of course we always are. It's always fun when those scripts come through. Like, and you read them all in one go.
Yeah.
It's the only time I ever read scripts on my phone, actually, because I just want to know exactly what happens.
Me too. And then actually, you're like, oh my God, this is magic.
Yeah.
Here, I'm doing this stuff.
So what can fans expect of season 2? I mean, tonally, does it kind of, because I mean, is it quite similar to what we've kind of had before? Does it veer off into a new direction at all?
I would say like tonally, there's definitely similarities. A lot of, Emma's comedy and stuff is still within that, but it feels a bit more perhaps grown up, a bit more weighted sometimes in different parts, because I think all the characters are really like at a point of change and growth. So there's elements of it that feel kind of, a bit more mature maybe. I also think this is just a personal thing, like there's each episode plays a bit more with like genre.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
definitely.
mean? Like, I feel like there's within the series we kind of explore different.
Yeah,
I always think it's about the first, and no one agreed with me, but I was like about the first. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was like, I felt like the first episode was kind of like Fight Club.
Yeah. Okay.
but that no one else felt that. So yeah.
No, we can discuss that. We can discuss that.
Sophia, I wanted to ask, because your lip syncing is next level. When did you realize you were really good at that side of things? Because it comes across so well in the first series, because that's quite a skill, quite a tough thing to get right.
You know what? Really annoyingly, I cannot take credit for the lip syncing, because the way we film it is I basically learn all the words and say all the words in their accent, the accent of whoever's going to be the voice.
Extremely accurately in that accent, may I add.
And then in ADR, they come back and re-record ADR my lines with their voice. So they're actually lip syncing to me. So I can't take credit for that, because if I could lip sync like that, I would bring that out the whole time.
No, but Sophia on set is doing those accents like flawlessly. Like in many ways, you don't need the recording. When the recording adds so much depth and flavor to like to the dish that is Dahlia. but she's doing it for real every time. And we actually watched the first cut of episode 3 without the voiceover. It's extraordinary. Like honestly, keep using that word.
You have to put a pound in the jar every time you say extraordinary on the pressure.
It's a word I use all the time outside of the show.
But I love all of the supporting roles in this as well. I mean, and there's so many great roles. I love kind of the character of Megan, played by Olivia Marcus, the kind of
Brilliant.
It must make it so much easier on set when such kind of talented actors are coming into play, all those kind of little supporting roles.
It's beautiful. Like the thing, I think this show has created a family and has actually given a platform to so many talented actors who haven't had one yet. Someone like Olivia Marcus is one of the funniest people I've ever met and ever seen on screen. And I hope that this show is able to give her even like more people can just see her work, because she's just extraordinary. Like she's just extraordinary.
That's £2 now.
Amazing.
They're amazing, the casting department, at finding like so many incredibly talented actors, and I think they're so rigorous in their casting process, and I really feel like you can see that on screen, because the stuff that everyone brings is really extraordinary.
And so I sort of set that one up a little bit. Olivia is my cousin, which is why I wanted to mention her.
No
No
way.
way.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't want to say, I didn't want to mention it first.
Wait,
But
Nick and Rafaela are your cousins.
yeah, Olivia is my cousin. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of her watching the show. The whole family.
Wait.
Megan is-
Oh my! Can we take a selfie with you to send to her?
Yeah, of course. So I'm not. No. Can you see me?
Yeah, we got you.
I don't know why I was moving. I just realised that makes no difference.
No, it worked.
She's exceptional. She's so good.
She is. I was really pleased you took when I sort of mentioned her name, I was hoping it would get a good reaction, but of course it would. She's wonderful. I'm very proud. Yes. She is one of the funniest people I've ever met as well. But very quickly, my final question, because I'm running out of time, is you mentioned when you made when you were doing the press for season 1, like 4 days later, we're going straight into season 2. Are there talks yet about season 3? It feels like a show and feels like characters we can very much see much more of it again in the future.
We hope that we get an opportunity to delve into this world and keep exploring these characters. And we, just like you, we keep our fingers crossed, to be honest.
Yeah, we do. Fingers crossed. Hope so.
Yeah, fingers crossed. All right, guys, thank you so much for today.
I'm
going to message Olivia now and know that I've just spoken.
do.
Cool. All right, take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys!
Hey, you guys!